This is a 2019 Baystar. We ordered this from the factory the way we thought we wanted it at the time. It can be overwhelming, guys. There's a lot of different options out there. Technology changes very quickly. What's from 2019, the options are much different for 2025 and moving forward.
Who's right, who's wrong, who likes what, who doesn't like something else. When you're getting an RV, there are tons of choices. And one of our subscribers reached out to us and said this would be a great idea for a video to do an RV somewhat options analysis and break things down for people who may be new or maybe veterans and looking to get their next RV. So we're going to take that idea in this video. We're going to go through various options on RVs and tell you what we've done, why we think it was the best choice for us, and then get your feedback.
In this video, we're going to be touching on just a few common options that are on many RVs, but there's much more into buying an RV, a lot more questions you should be asking. We do offer one-on-one consultations. We've had many people take advantage of that. They're very inexpensive, guys, and you can ask as many questions as you want within that hour, and we'll answer it for you. So let's get into this. So the first one is going to be seating options on your RV. Now, we have a motorhome, so we're going to talk about what we did on this motorhome. So this is a 2019 Baystar. We ordered this from the factory the way we thought we wanted it at the time, but we didn't know, we really know anything about motorhomes because this was our first motorhome. So when we ordered this motorhome, Jason was probably this tall, and we ordered with dual jackknife sofas. So we had a jackknife sofa here
and then over here,
and one here. Now you can see that's not the same right now. Almost immediately when we received our motorhome, we're like, we want theater seats. Like, hon, it was almost immediate.
Yeah, we just didn't do it. But then another big problem started happening. So
well, let me get into it before why we ordered dual jackknife sofas, because in our mind, people were going to camp with us. We needed places for them to sleep. And then we found out that nobody's going to camp with us. So we made it comfortable for our own purposes. So let's talk about what jackknife sofas are and how they became a problem.
So when we first got Nelly, we started with the jackknife. So essentially what it was is that it kind of came out, and how you would have to lay, it's going to look a little funny, but you have to lay side to side, and as you can see,
so the bed would kind of come out to here.
It would kind of come out to here, and you'd have to kind of lay like this. So for me, that's kind of a bit of a problem considering I am the Jolly Green Giant.
It was okay at first. But each year that passed, we started seeing this
more difficult, and I'd have to crunch up more and more.
So what we upgraded to were theater seats, and then we have a trifold sofa. So again, we didn't know this. There's a difference. Jackknife sofa, like we just explained. A trifold sofa is a little bit different. We're going to show you our trifold sofa. So you're an expert at this because you did it all the time.
So it's very easy. What you do, take the pillows off, toss them to the side, and
oh, you're so good at it.
Right here, you take the bottom, you grab, pull it out, and then the legs come out. So can you grab that leg? Make sure it goes all the way out.
Yeah.
Bring the legs down. We usually store our fitted sheets and all that stuff under there, and then you take this, pulls out, that's always a pain. Pulls out and then pulls down.
So now demonstrate what it's like.
So now I can lay down.
All 6'4" of you.
And then all of me can lay nice.
Now, your feet still hang off a little bit.
But it also depends on how I'm sleeping, but this is much better compared to the jackknife.
So the next one's going to be booth versus dinette for your dining features. Now we've had both. So on our trailer we had the booth.
The big U-shape.
Right, which also, most of them double as a sleeping area. And now on here we have the dinette. There's advantages and disadvantages to both.
Something that I like with the dinette that we have is where the camera is right now. You have that whole like buffet style section.
Correct.
So when we eat dinner, we have the table, but we can line everything. And this is also where we keep our computers and things when we're working. There's a lot of space there to keep that. If you have a booth, you have the table, and it would be just taking up all that
You also have the desk option right there.
Right, you have, yes, and you have the cabinetry here and stuff, so extra storage space with the dinette.
And then with the dinette, you also have the expansion leaf. Why I like the dinette, it's adaptable, whereas the booth is really not. The booth is permanent, it's there all the time. With the dinette, if we travel just the two of us, we don't have to carry two seats.
Two chairs.
And we keep the chair at the table in the most compact version. If there's going to be other people, we could always upgrade to 4. We put the leaf in, we got 4 seats. Now, with the booth, you do have advantages. You have that sleeping area, of course. What else do you like about it?
Well, the jury's still out for me on our next motorhome. I really did like a booth, but I like this as well. If it's just two people, like I picture us on a, on a nice Dutch Star or something with a booth where it's just really comfortable. I think it's more comfortable than the chairs. So for comfort, I definitely lean towards the dinette.
It's permanent. It's there all the time. So those are questions you have. There's no right or wrong on either one. Again, it's personal preference, and that's what we talk a lot with people about. They ask us, what kind of RV should I get? I don't know. What we like may not be what you like. It's all your personal preference.
And I want you to put in the comments, especially with this is the one, most of these I know what I love. This I still go back and forth. Let us know what you like and give me some more reasons, pros and cons of each. The next options that one of them that you have to choose from is propane versus an induction cooktop. So the next two have to deal with your cooking area.
I want to jump in before we say options. If you're getting to the point where induction is offered, it really isn't an option.
Right.
We're talking about, do you step up to the all-electric coach? That's what we mean.
Right. We have a gas motorhome. We have a propane stove. Now, I like propane stoves for one big reason. We have an induction cooktop at home. I can't stand it. I really don't like it. Maybe I don't use it right, but it does not, I feel it doesn't cook evenly. I don't like the way it warms up. This, you get what you get. You put the flame on, it's easy, and then you just cook, and it cooks the way I want it to cook. I'm always struggling with the induction. So for me, and again, I know once we kick up to a diesel motorhome, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I like the options that many RVs have that I'm starting to see where you have both. Some will have one induction cooktop and then you'll have propane along with it. Obviously, you're not going to get that on the diesel motorhomes.
The big disadvantage, in my opinion, is the safety. Now, that's not to say that these aren't safe, but you're dealing with propane. There's going to always be a chance of a leak with the propane. Either the line coming into here, the line in here, somehow this gets left on and there's propane being built up. I personally don't like that. I would prefer all electric for sure. Safety only, but I agree with MJ. Cooking, I like the flame, but you could always go outside and cook on a Blackstone.
Of course,
you could do that also.
Yeah.
Depending on what your price point is, and we're just talking about new here, if you're getting into the middle to higher end motorhomes, propane is not even an option. If you're going on the gassers or you're on towables, you may have an option there. The other thing I really don't like about this, and this is going to be seasonal, but it's hot out right now. You turn this on, it starts getting hot in here. You know, some people use it for heating source. Don't ever do that. With this, it's going to start getting hot. If you have like the one at home, the surface gets hot, but it's not spreading that heat everywhere.
So the next, this option in quotes, is just something we want to bring up in terms of oven. So you'll see many RVs that have a convection oven, which is what we have. We have the microwave convection oven combo, or many RVs actually have that residential oven. I know a lot of the Alliance fifth wheels, trailers too, I believe, they have that nice residential oven, and many, many others. Personally,
we've had both.
We have had both, and I never thought, we've said this before, I never wanted a convection oven. I really do like it. As time goes on, we see, you know, the cooking, maybe certain things a little uneven, but overall it does a great job. We make so many dinners in here in our convection that we could do in an oven too, but it does really well. The only drawback that I'm gonna say is that when you have the combo convection microwave is that you can only do one thing at one time. Right. So if we had that oven, we could have the microwave going, because a lot of times we'll just whip up some frozen rice or whatever, we want to microwave it. You have to wait and kind of do things in shifts, so then sometimes you're waiting while things finish. So that is one drawback, but it's been great for us.
Yeah, the other drawback for the regular oven, and it goes back to the stove, is the heat. You remember how much heat that would produce in our trailer? It would get so hot in there.
It still gets hot with this.
Yeah, just not to that degree.
As hot.
Guys, the next one is a really important one, but we do want to thank the sponsor of this video, Release Cleaner, and it's going to be very relevant, and you'll see in a second. Release Cleaner is an all-in-one cleaning solution that we've been using on our motorhome for over a year. You can see what our motorhome looks like right now. Normally, I demonstrate Release on our motorhome, but it's already...
You can see me.
It's already been released.
I mean,
so you can see how clean it is.
It's a mirror.
So we've been sitting here for quite a few days. It hasn't rained. It's just nice and clean. But I'm going to demonstrate Release on the Mustang because the Mustang has not been so fortunate. So if you look at our rear deck here on our trunk, you can see it's extremely dirty. Release is an all-in-one cleaner. You can use it on every single type of surface, whether that's paint, glass, rubber, metal, awning. We use it inside, upholstery, it doesn't matter. The chemicals in here will associate with the dirt and just wipe everything away, making it super easy to clean, as you can see on our motorhome. Originally developed for the aeronautics industry, so it's made to cut exhaust, all of that stuff. What's special about Release, guys, is that you can use it on everything. So if you get the 1 gallon concentrate, you're able to make 80 32-ounce bottles at the strongest concentration, which is a 1-part Release to 20-part water, which is our preferred method. Comes down to about $1.12 a bottle. So I'm done talking here. I'm just gonna show you guys, this is dirty, 24-year-old car. You can see the dirt here. I'm gonna use the Release on the foam dispenser. Gonna let it do its thing. It's hot, you're gonna see smoke coming out. I'm gonna let it sit there for about 30 seconds, a minute. You saw what it looked like. Untowel me for the subscribers and viewers. Quasi clean towel, not super clean, quasi clean. But you can see here's a pretty clean area. You see everything associating, kind of washing away. I'm just gonna do 1 wipe. And everybody says, oh, you're doing camera tricks, you're doing this, you're doing that. No, I'm not. I'm just going here, I'm gonna wipe. There's the dirt that was taken off. Complain about the streaking, guys, just go over it one more time with a clean side. There's no streaking here. Once that dries up, look at the difference right there. That is just 1 quick wipe. I really didn't put any effort. It's squeaky clean. I'm just gonna keep wiping here so I can get my fin cleaned up and then just come back over. Look at the dirt, guys. If you want more information about Release Cleaner, you can go to releasecleaner.com. Maine, USA, they're awesome. Use the discount code
Endless10.
You'll get 10% off of your purchase, and any purchase over $75 is free shipping in the US. We'll put their information down below. So the next option that people commonly ask about is full body paint versus no paint, or just gel coating. Now, the majority of RVs out there are not full body paint, because the majority of RVs out there are going to be trailers, fifth wheels, and there is a substantial additional cost of full body paint. However, as you start getting into higher end fifth wheels, trailers, full paint is an option, and on motorhomes, most motorhomes, it is an option if not standard. So on our motorhome, we do have full body paint standard. Our motorhome is a 2019 Baystar, and I want you to look at the condition of our finish. Now, I'm very obsessed with cleaning this.
That definitely helps, but
you can see how full body paint holds up over the years, because again, your base coat, clear coat, it's made to weather the storms per se. You can see over on our side, over my left side, there's a trailer there that's not full body paint. You can see it's definitely weathered. And then around us, there are other trailers here that are not full body paint. There's not one wrong with the other. The full body paint is just gonna hold up much longer. It's gonna look much better. It's gonna have better resale value. Now, there is additional costs. $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 sometimes to get the full body paint, but we've had both. We had the trailer that had nothing. We have the motorhome now. We'll probably always get full body paint.
the next one has to do with how your water is heated.
This is a big one. This is one you're gonna be using all the time.
Right. So we have tank water, which is what we had in
Most
many
common.
people, right? You have the tankless water, and then you have your hydronic heating. Now, I love our tankless water heating. We've never had hydronic heating, so I'm sure I'll love that even more. But the tankless is great because, again, you're not limited as to how much water you can use.
So just a little more detail, just a quick explanation of the difference. You have your tank, which, like MJ said, is the most common. They usually run on electric and propane, either or, and they have a tank anywhere from a 6-gallon common, 6 to 10 gallon will be the bigger ones. The problem with them is that you're limited on how long you can use it, because 10 gallons is really not that much. So you can get like a 10-minute shower and then things start getting cold. The more common one on newer RVs is tankless water heaters.
Way more RVs are
Way
having
more
them now
RVs.
than when we looked.
Yeah, they're kind of moving away from the tanks to the tankless because the technology has been adopted now and it's way more available. So you have many different brands out there. Furion's a big one. Truma, our opinion, is the best one out there. It's made in Germany.
Gerard is another
Gerard's another one. With the tankless water heater, although ours has a very small tank in it, like MJ said, you have unlimited hot water. The only thing that's going to limit you is how much water you have and how much
tank.
propane you have.
Well, and your tank sizes too.
Correct, your tank size is correct. Now the thing is, with the tankless water heaters, they only run on propane. They don't run on electric. So that may be something, if that's an issue for you, you want to consider that. Also,
It doesn't use a lot though.
doesn't
at
use a lot.
all.
Also, some of the other brands, not Truma, some of the other brands, you'll get temperature spikes. That's why we love the Truma so much. It's been just so good. And we've had ours now for,
tired.
it's getting tired.
No.
We have ours now for over 5 years, and it has been flawless.
Yeah.
Like German engineering, flawless. I can't speak to the other ones, but we want your feedback. If you have a tankless water heater other than a Truma, put in the comments below what has been your experience. Now let's talk about hydronic heating. Hydronic heating you will find mostly on motorhomes, diesel motorhomes. It's kind of considered a higher end, definitely more expensive, a much more expensive option. There's more maintenance to it. It needs that yearly maintenance, but it does provide a lot.
What's great about the hydronic heating is not only are you heating your water, but that is the heating for your entire RV as well.
Yeah, and those run on 50 amp and or diesel almost all the time. All different options, guys, depending, again, what your budget is, what is really important to you. That's gonna help you pick out what option you want. The next one's going to be solar, lithium, lithium, lithium. What do you want powering your RV? Again, depends on what type of RV you have. If it's simple, just a trailer, it's usually like one battery as far as the 12-volt side. As you start getting more complicated, fifth wheels, motorhomes, your house batteries start to grow. Now we have residential appliances on our motorhome, and we originally had just lead acid batteries, and they were actually pretty terrible. We couldn't go a full night without those batteries just being unusable. Over 2 years ago, we did upgrade to lithium. Now, again, this is 2019. Lithium was out, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now as far as a factory option. Most, if not all, manufacturers are offering lithium batteries as a factory option. Now, they can be quite expensive, and you may be able to do it yourself aftermarket for less, but we're all about the lithium. It's just great.
I remember the first trip out when we went to NASCAR.
Yeah.
And we couldn't believe we were able to just go all night. That's what she said. But yeah, I mean, it was great. Like we had no issues.
So you may be asking yourself, okay, so what does that all mean to me? So with the lithium, you just get much more reserve energy and you get more power. So whereas we used to have the lead acid batteries, we had 4 75 amp hour batteries. So you can do the math, about 300 amp hours, but really only about 50% of that was usable. We now have 600 amp hours of batteries in our Battleborns here, but 100% of this is usable. And what's crazy is that this is actually lighter than what our 4 other ones were, our lead acids. So this allows us to run our motorhome, our air conditioners for quite a long time. So heading down here when we're coming in from New Jersey, I was running the AC units for probably almost 3 hours. I ran it down to about 7%, just running the AC unit, then I kicked the generator on, recharged everything, but we're running off of our batteries.
Something else I want to mention too is just in terms of maintenance, because zero maintenance, right? So when you have those lead acid batteries, you have to be checking the water levels and cleaning the corrosion and all of those things. And we still do that, obviously, for our chassis battery, but this, you don't have to do it.
Zero maintenance.
That's great.
And then the other nice thing about this, you know, they are more expensive up front, but over the lifespan, these are way cheaper. These last a long time. These will be 15 years. So if we ever get another motorhome, we can swap these out. We can bring these with us. For you out there, you buy once, cry once, right? You just keep bringing them out with you. These are great, guys. Battleborn's not the only brand out there. There's many different brands out there. Just make sure you get a one that's good quality, good reputation, because there's a lot of cheaper ones out there. And what you don't want is for these things to go on fire because they burn for a long time.
This next option is a big one and serves to create some debate in the RVing community. What is better? I think it's like old school versus new school. So you're looking at ways to get your TV, satellite versus streaming.
Yeah, so satellite will be a satellite dish, a big satellite dish on your roof. Very prevalent in the 90s, early 2000s, and kind of a dying technology at this point. We just had a roof done at home. There was an old satellite dish there from before we even moved in the house. Roofer's like, you want? I'm like, no, we haven't had a satellite. It's probably 10 years that we've been streaming. So we choose on our motorhome, we have an internet setup, and those are the 2 big options out there, right? It's either gonna be satellite to get your entertainment over the air, which is free, and you get a decent amount of channels if you're in a area, or streaming, which you need internet. That's going to be cellular connection and or satellite, most commonly Starlink. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Well, with the satellite dish, the advantage is that as long as you have a clear view of the sky, you're going to get your entertainment channels. Big disadvantage is you have that big dish on the roof.
Right. And if you have coverage, you're not getting anything. So
right.
yeah.
And there's a lot of companies now that are just not broadcasting over satellite anymore.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
don't. You got to stream it. Streaming is the way to go. That's what everybody's doing. The advantages of streaming is that the initial setup is a little bit cheaper. And not only are you getting your entertainment, you're also getting your information. So computer, big deal. You're getting your data from the streaming services.
If you're curious about our internet, we have a full breakdown of our whole internet setup. We'll link that video up above.
So in the comments below, guys, let us know what are some of the options that you've been thinking about, either upgrading your RV to, or if you're buying a new RV. It can be overwhelming, guys. There's a lot of different options out there. And if you're not in it all the time, the technology changes very quickly. What's from 2019, the options are much different for 2025 and moving forward. And we want you guys just to kind of be aware of it. If you like videos like this, guys, to the left of us, we'll put our RV newbies playlist, we'll put our RV tours playlist, and for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.